Who wants to be the emotional victim? I mean, volunteer. Anybody? Brave soul. Okay. What's your name?
Leah.
Leah. Okay, Leah, come on up. Okay, so Leah, why did you want to volunteer for the emotional part?
Why not?
Okay. So I guess there's you have some emotional stress or something you want to kind of look at and stuff, and.
Sure.
All right. Could you take your watch off for me? All right, and just have a seat there. All right. So in applied kinesiology, we have several different ways to work with the emotions. There's different reflexes. We can use the neurovasculars. We can use the acupuncture meridian system. We can use all these different things to focus on the emotional side. Are you presently on any herbs or medications?
Yes.
Okay. So we're going to give you one of these little RNA tablets here. Now what I'd like you to do is put that on your tongue and just move it around until you taste it. After you taste it, just hold it under your tongue. And like I explained before, this just unmasks the nervous system from anything the patient's currently taking to see truly what's going on in there. Because you could put the person on a medication or an herb and they're so potent that it'll change all the function in the body and the muscle test will show up differently. So, what we're going to do is work with Leah's subconscious. We're going to do that through muscle testing. So should we have you lay on your back, please? It doesn't matter. All right. Do you have any physical type symptoms going on of anything?
A little bit of lower quad pain.
Lower quad pain. Just on the right?
Especially in the hip.
Hip, okay. So let's see what's going on there. Let's check a few rectus femoris. That's a really quick thing to check. Push up to your head. I'm going to push down. All right, that one's off. Push up. And she has bilateral weak rectus femoris. That probably means her hip extensors are tight if her hip flexors are off. Let's have you come on up and just touch your toes. Let's see how far you can touch your toes here. All right, give it about 3 shots. See how far you can go. Now come back and come forward again. Okay, one more time. All right, now hold it there. Now she's about halfway, about right here on her metacarpals. So we're just going to use that as a reference for later. And laying your back, we're just going to do a hip abduction test, if that's okay with you. Let's just see how far our hip goes out here. And just take a look here. Okay, we got about 90 degrees. I don't want to push any farther than that. I don't want to strain her or anything. We're just going to see if we get physiological changes from working on the emotions here. So I want you to bring both your arms up like this. Now, I like using these muscles for emotions. These are the pec major claviculars. These relate to the stomach. And in Chinese medicine, stomach is very easily swayed by the emotions. A lot of times it goes right to the stomach first. So we know if we have a really bad day, you get that knot in your stomach, digestive problems, or everyone in corporate America, they have their tums because of their ulcers, right? All right, so I'm going to push your arms out. You push in. Okay, that's good. It's going to bring this headpiece down a notch for you. There you go. All right. Now, I'm going to say certain things. Let me put away my microphone wire here. I usually don't wear one of these in the office, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay. I'm going to say some things. If your subconscious doesn't agree that that's a good thing, it'll go weak, okay? So, I'm just going to say, well, actually, I'm going to have you think about things. How's that sound? I want you to think about being a student. Uh-oh. Okay. I want you to think about, all right, let's have you think about finances, just all your money stuff. Oh, she's not too bad in that department. Let's have you think about relationship stuff. Okay, a little bit of relationship stuff. Let me see. Let's have you think about, do you have any children or anything like that? Or okay. So, I'm going to start with school first. I know how stressful school was for me, although I'd go through it again in a second. But I'm going to start with the school stuff, because usually school causes a lot of emotions, not least to other things. So, think about school. Think about being a student. Think about the first time you could ever remember going to school.
Okay.
All the way back in the beginning. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
First image? Okay. So her first image of school really brings on a weakness. Let's see. Bring your arms up again. Now, the other weakness was relationships. Think about relationships. Think about the first romantic relationship you were ever in.
Oh gosh. Okay. Okay.
Okay, that's not really giving me the weakness there. So the weakness goes back with the first original time of school, so I'm going to go with that one. I think that's more of a major one for her. And this is kind of getting the least common denominator all the way back to the beginning, because she had an emotional problem with the first time ever being a student. She probably carried it all the way through up to here. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm just going to use one arm here so we could diagnose, push in. Okay, think about the first time you were ever a student. All right, now I want you to put your hand on your forehead like this, and these are the neurovascular or Bennett reflexes for the stomach. So I'm going to see if this stops the emotional response. Okay, now again, think about the first time ever being a student and push in. And that does it. That stops the emotional response. So I'm going to treat these vascular reflexes to help with her stomach and her to get these emotions out of her stomach, okay? Now just give me a few seconds here to just help her clear this out. And if you could, everyone just kind of keep it down a little bit too, just so she can concentrate on this, okay? So, take those off. All I'm going to do is touch those reflexes with the pads of my fingers till I feel a pulsation. And at first, they'll kind of be uneven, but as they even out, then I know it's clear. They should both be going about the same time. So, Leah, think about the first time you were ever a student, and just keep thinking about that, and any aspect of that comes to mind. Okay, let's try that out and see how that works. Bring both your arms up. Think about the first time ever being a student. You know, put your glasses on too, so everything's exactly the same as before. Think about the first time ever being a student. Okay, touch your forehead. Think about the first time ever being a student with your hand on your forehead. Okay, so I felt those pulses even out, and I also seen her breathing increase dramatically too. I watched her stomach really going up and down. And when you're breathing through your stomach, that's really the healthy way to breathe. You're moving a lot of your energy that way. So, let's check the romantic stuff. The student stuff is doing pretty good. Bring these up. Think about let's just check. Think about being a student here now at NCNM. Think about graduating. Think about becoming a doctor. Think about becoming a successful doctor. All right, good. You got that going. All right, let's check. Think about relationships. Think about romantic relationships. That's better too. So we kind of took out the biggest one. It kind of eases some of the other stresses in there. All right, now I want to see, do we get any physiologic changes from that? Because like I said, this should be a holistic thing. We should affect the biochemical, the structural, all that stuff. So come sit up, and let's have you touch your toes. Let's see how far you can go. She almost went to the wrist. Give it 2 more shots. One more. Yeah, she's right about the wrist now. So she went from the metacarpals all the way to the wrist. She has more range of motion that way. Laying your back, let's just check your leg abduction. She said she had kind of a hip thing going on here. So let's let this relax. I'm going to push up. Wow. All right, she went up way past 90 degrees that time. Before she was over here, she can go all the way up here now. So now you can take up ballet. Let's just check for the heck of it these quadriceps here. These are, rectus femoris. Now we worked on stomach with her in the emotional point of view. And just like the endocrine system with digestive, if you work from the top down, it works better sometimes because this is 80% of your digestion here. So if the stomach isn't doing good, the small intestine and the colon definitely aren't going to be 100%. So let's just see how we did on these small intestine muscles. I'm going to push down to the table, you push up. That one's on really good. And push up. And that's a phenomenal response in that one too. All right, Leah, thank you for being very brave.